Well, Mr. Logan, why don't we begin with you telling the story you were telling a minute ago of your grandmother was the sister of Wade Green,
Yeah,
for whom Wade Green Road is named.
yeah.
And she inherited part of the family estate, and he got the part in Cobb County.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about where exactly did she live in Cherokee County?
Well, lives in Cobb County.
Oh, she was
Wade
in
Green in Cherokee.
Okay. Oh, I see. So she had the Cobb County part.
Yeah. They had a big old farm, and let's see. I think as my granddaddy died, she sold it for nearly nothing.
Really?
It was 120 acres, I think.
Would this be where Cherokee Street is going into Kennesaw nowadays? Where would the land have been?
Oh, you know where Wade Green lived?
I know where Wade Green Road runs.
Oh,
That's all I know.
let's see. It ain't too far from 92.
Oh, okay. So where did you grow up?
There for a while.
Along near Highway 92?
Yeah, well, not then, but I grew up up at Canton. Mom and Daddy worked in the mills up there,
Oh, I see.
and I went to school at Holly Springs.
Okay.
Then after we come down here, moved down here to switch mills.
Mm-hmm.
I was 12 years old.
12 years old, and that would have been about 1935.
Yeah,
And your parents started working for the Mason Mill at
Yeah.
that time. And were you going to school at that time?
no,
You weren't. So how many years of school did you have?
I went through the 7th grade
Through the
at
summer?
Holly Springs.
And then did you start working then at the mill when your parents did, at the
Yeah,
Mason Mill?
George Pope, I asked him for a job and he gave me one.
Okay. What exactly were you doing in the mill?
I was picking up quilts.
Okay. Why don't you talk a little bit about the mill itself? Why don't you talk about the mill, working in the mill, and the mill village?
Yeah.
Just tell me anything that you remember about it.
Well, let's see. I worked in a weave shop with Mama for a while, and then I went down to the spinning room and worked in there.
What did you do in the spinning room?
Doffed.
Okay.
You know what that is, don't you?
No, I sure don't. Why don't you tell us?
That's taking a full bottom off and putting an empty one on them.
I see. And how much money did you get paid for doing that?
42 cents a day.
Okay.
That's,
And,
that's all they paid.
yeah. So 42 cents a day. And how many years did you work for Mason?
Oh, till I went in the Army, and let's see, I probably worked 2 years out there.
Okay. So what year did you go in the Army?
It was right after Pearl Harbor.
Okay, so 42.
Yeah,
Okay. And you'd worked at the mill up until that time?
yeah.
And did your pay ever go up during that time?
Shoot, no. You could make more chopping cotton 50 cents a day.
Well, talk a little bit about what it was like to work in the mill. Did the Masons treat you well, or how would
Yeah.
you describe it?
Oh, there's good people. Let's see, George Pope was my boss in the up there where they weaved the cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I can't think of his name. Mary Sue's daddy. You remember Mary Sue Pope?
You'll have to tell us about him.
Yeah, he was my boss down there.
Did you live in company housing?
Yeah, I finally moved in one after my daughter was born. I lived out in Middle Row.
Well, why don't you talk about that? What was it? Was it a nice house? How many rooms were there? What kind of house was it?
That's just two double occupancy.
Duplex?
You didn't have no water in the house. It was always out in the yard, and the outside toilets. And I can't think of that woman's name that lived in the other side. You know where the old boarding house was?
A boarding house?
Yeah.
Did you live in a boarding house?
No.
How many rooms were there on your side of the house?
Huh?
How many rooms did you have on your side of the house?
2.
Just 2 rooms?
I think it's 85 cents a week they charge you to live in them.
Is that right? 85 cents per room, or 85
No,
cents
85 cents for the
for the house?
2 room.
For the 2 rooms? 85 cents a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're paid 42 cents a day. And did you work 6 days a week? How many hours did you work? I guess by this time you worked 40-hour a week, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 days a week. So you made about $2 a week. And then you paid 85 cents for housing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's quite a bit then for housing. Right?
Yeah.
Did you buy things at the company store?
Oh, not much.
Oh, okay. So where did you buy your groceries?
I don't go. Oh, down there from. I can't think of his name. Had a store there on the corner next to Allen's.
On Main Street?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a company ball team or anything that you participated in?
Yeah, Mr. Pope, him and Daddy liked that ball. We played ball all the time.
Did you play on the mill team?
Yeah, we used to play that, what was the name of that planer mill up on the side of the mountain there? Anyhow, we'd play them.
What position did you play?
Huh?
What position did you play?
I just played an outfielder. That old ball field, it went downhill like. You know where Jack Dempsey's first garage was?
No, I don't know.
Well, that's his setup there. He built that after we done away with the ballpark.
Oh, really? So you're saying the ball field wasn't level?
No, it was going downhill.
Okay. Did you have a pretty good team?
Yeah, we had a pretty good one.
Were you a good hitter?
Sometimes. That's when the referee stood behind the pitcher. He didn't stand behind the batter.
So 1942, you went into the Army. Did you get drafted?
Yeah.
Okay, and why don't you talk a little bit about your military experience? Where did you go for basic training, and where did you go after that?
Well, when they drafted me, we went to Fort Mac. Then they sent us out to San Luis Obispo, California, to organize it. We stayed out there 2 months. Then we'll come back to Camp Rooker. They just had built it.
Where was it?
Huh?
Where was Camp Rucker?
Alabama.
In Alabama.
Out from Dothan.
Okay. So what did they train you for at that point? Is that when you got into the artillery?
No, I was in the artillery.
Okay.
105. Then we'd go out on maneuvers, have the tanks run over us get down in that trench. Yeah, Camp Rooker's a pretty good place.
How long did you stay there?
I got out, let's see, I got out in 45.
But you weren't.
October the 5th in 45.
When did you go to Europe?
About, well, we went on Tennessee maneuvers. I got a 7-day leave. When it ended and come home, they sent me a telegram to where to go back to, and I went to Camp Button in North Carolina. They had me a bunk set up in the boiler room, and I ate with the 161st Field Artillery. It's a week before they ever come. That's where we left from to go overseas, Camp Button.
So did you go straight to England from there?
Yeah, we got on I sailed out of New York on my birthday. I got off at Liverpool on my daughter's birthday. Then we walked up there and caught that train, and we rode to midnight that night. Had our fighter plane flying over. It's just down the hill, a little piece. I bet it's 3 miles off that mountain.
So you go to Liverpool, and I assume you hadn't been to too many places before you went into the Army. That must have been quite an experience to go to California and then go to England, and you're seeing the world during that time,
Yeah.
aren't you? Do you have any experiences that you recall from your time in England that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, you ought to have seen that camp. They had that old pressed coal to heat the water with. It'd just been better to take a cold bath. They just had that old pressed coal. They just talking about that modern stuff. Our bunk beds was made out of 2x4s in that little camp. I was right on the edge of the water.
Right. Right on the edge of the ocean,
Yeah, that channel.
the English Channel.
Yeah, just a little piece to it.
What did you think of the English people?
Huh?
What did you think of the English people?
Oh, that's all right.
Didn't socialize with them very much.
Oh, yeah, I had a big old carbuncle on this knuckle there when I was there, and our old sergeant, he was going downtown. I told him, see if he could find a drugstore and get me some flaxseed meal. About 30 minutes, he brought it back, and I made me a Polish and put it in a sling.
You were involved with the Normandy Invasion. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I went in on the second wave.
What exactly were you doing?
Took field artillery in 105. Yeah, let's see, the second day after the first wave went in, that's when the minesweeper took us over. Oh, I never seen so many bullets flying up the way I went the next day. I was in them hedgerows. Yeah, we stayed in California about 3 months before we come back.
On the after Normandy, did you just go with the army all the way through to Germany?
1,600 miles.
1,600 miles.
I would have brought to my book.
Were you involved with the Battle of the Bulge?
Yeah.
Talk about that. That was pretty cold, wasn't it?
It's cold all the time over there. Snow was up to your knees. We didn't have no winter clothes either. Anyway, that Battle of the Bulge, we left off that river. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, when they sent us up there, Pat and I went with Pat, and them Germans that broke through the line there with them tanks. Well, a couple of days, it cleared up, and here come them B-17s, and they bombed them tanks.
Were you involved all the way to Berlin?
Huh?
Did you go all the way to Berlin?
No, didn't nobody go to Berlin.
How far did you go before the surrender?
To the Elbe River.
Okay. And then what happened after that? You came back home after the war ended?
Yeah, they shipped me to an outfit that was coming back home, supposed to be, and that's outside of Heidelberg, a little town called Sandhausen. And I stayed there, and they never did. Woke me up one night, they was gonna raid them houses, but I didn't go with them. That's where old Patton got hit with that truck.
So you came back home after World War II, but you lived in Atlanta for about 15 years and then came back to Ackworth about 1960.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what Ackworth was like when you came here? And maybe I should ask too, why did you come to Ackworth? What did you have a job that brought you here, or what attracted you to Ackworth?
Well, Mom and Daddy lived here. And so I got a job out there from George Pope. You remember him?
So you're talking now about back in the 30s or
Yeah.
in the 60s? Okay, well, what about when you came back
Well,
in 1960? Did you go back to work for the mill when you came back here?
I went to work for White Provision.
Okay. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I made sausage for a long time down there.
Uh-huh.
And then them old choppers chop it up for hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And done the army come there to get their stuff, and they stand there and watch you while you're grinding it. He said, old sergeant said, what's that? Wouldn't that come out of there? What it was is a box of snuff.
Snuff?
Yeah. It wasn't mine. I don't know whose it was. We just dug out about 20 pounds of it, ship it on out.
What was Ackworth like in the 60s?
Way back yonder?
Yeah, back in the 60s when you came back again. What was the town like at that time?
Oh, let's see, everything's still about the same. You remember the Silver Trolley?
I think I've maybe heard of it. Why don't you talk about it?
It's right next to the show on the other side. Had good eat, though. You remember the barber shop?
No, you have to tell us about it.
Well, on the right side down there across in front of the show, they had a barber shop and a bath and them farmers come up on Saturdays, they get their haircuts and take a bath.
What did you do for fun?
Huh?
What did you do for fun?
Fun?
Uh-huh.
Run women or girls.
Okay. When did you start working on lawnmowers?
Oh, God. How long ago, Max?
15 years ago, I guess.
Huh?
Probably 15 years ago at least.
Yeah.
Well, how has Ackworth changed over the years, do you think?
It's changed a whole lot. All this building done up here.
You think it's changed for the better or the worse?
I don't know. You know, there in front of Dr. Caldwell's office, there used to be, when I was little, had a hitching post. Hook up horses. I don't know what they ever done with that.
Well, I think I'm just about out of questions. Mac, did you have something you wanted to ask him?
Let me think a minute. I think you're pretty well covered.
Huh?
I say, I think he's pretty well covered it. Can you think of anything you want to speak about?
Yeah, we moved here, down here to Ackworth. Mom and Daddy worked in the mill at Canton. And then he come down to this one. He did. I was 12 years old. And I got drafted.
You know, one thing we didn't talk about was making blocks in Ackworth.
Oh,
And your father was named Arthur Logan.
yeah.
And when did he start making blocks?
Oh, that's from where Eddie Jones is built. That's the first one we built. Where he's at. Of course, that who it wasn't who it was. We made it over there. There used to be a garage over there across the road that Harold and his brother owned. And we done them blocks in there. We had a mixer along with this table. Boy, that thing is hard to pull too, to dump it. He paid us a penny a piece. I made $10 a day.
Well, $10 a day was better than you were making before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And something else that we didn't get on tape is the story about building a house out of the old company store. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, they gave it to me. I come tore it down and moved. It had good lumber in it. And the house behind it, I can't think of what his name was. But that thing had a seal that big square through that house. It had been hewed out. Yeah, I hauled that thing out there and started building. Daddy brought me the plywood to do the floors. Oh, Hartley and his wife, they come by to see me build that rock chimney on that thing.
How many houses did you build?
I was a lot of them. That boy of mine, he built houses all the time. Oldest one. And he moved to Kentucky. And that's where he died at.
How many children did you have?
6.
6.
4 girls and 2 boys.
Any of them still live in Ackworth?
No, my youngest, well, my oldest daughter, she lived over there next to the New Hope Church. And then my baby daughter, she lived over yonder. Oh, shoot, I can't think of the name of that place. Anyhow, that's where they live.
Well, thank you, Mr. Logan. Appreciate you talking to
You're welcome.